I can't believe I have to keep talking about this nonsense. Tucker Carlson delves into the latest developments of the woke agenda that are making waves across the political landscape, and it's infuriating. It's like a bad joke that keeps getting worse. You see, while our lawmakers in California are wasting time on this ridiculous grammar debate, our state is falling apart. Our roads are filled with potholes big enough to swallow a car. Our middle class is disappearing faster than you can say gender-neutral pronoun, and yet they're obsessing over this. It's like they're living in a fantasy world, disconnected from the harsh realities that ordinary people face. What really gets under my skin is the mindlessness of it all. The left in particular seems to be the most susceptible to these empty trends. They embrace any new shiny idea without a second thought, and they expect the rest of us to follow suit. It's like they're incapable of critical thinking, incapable of looking beyond the surface. This obsession with gender-neutral pronouns is nothing more than virtue signaling at its worst. It's politicians trying to score cheap points with a vocal minority while ignoring the very real problems that are tearing our country apart. We've got homelessness crisis, skyrocketing crime rates, and an education system that's failing our kids, but they're busy policing our language? It's beyond absurd. It's enraging. And what's even more infuriating is that it's symptomatic of a much larger problem in American society. We've become a nation obsessed with identity politics, political correctness, and cancel culture. We're so divided that we can't even have a rational discussion about the issues that matter most. It's tearing us apart, and our politicians are only making it worse. I'm angry, folks. I'm angry because we should be coming together to address the real problems facing our country. We should be focused on creating jobs, improving our schools, and making our communities safer. But instead, we're wasting time and energy on this linguistic nonsense. It's time for a wake-up call. We need to get our priorities straight, and we need to do it fast before it's too late.
I'm really struck, this is a function of human nature, but the left is especially susceptible to it, that any dumb trend that comes along is accepted immediately and mindlessly by people who should know better.
Like MAGA hats?
Well, MAGA hats have a very specific, you may disagree with them, but like they're calling for the election of a specific person. But like all the dumb people decided one day like pronouns are bad, and then we just sort of go along with it. Why?
You know what truly boggles my mind, folks? The fact that we're even having a serious discussion about this issue is yet another testament to the absurdity of our times. It's right up there with some of the questionable decisions made by our president and vice president, and trust me, that's saying a lot. When you have someone or a group dictating that you must speak in a certain way, that you must refer to something in a particular manner, that's a direct assault on the very concept of free speech. It's as clear as day. Our nation was founded on principles of liberty and individual rights, yet here we are, being coerced into altering our language and thought processes. It's not just a slippery slope, it's a free fall into the abyss of authoritarianism. Respect, my friends, is a virtue that should be earned, not forcibly extracted. There's an immense distinction between voluntarily choosing to use certain language out of genuine respect and being compelled to do so under duress. In this particular case, the notion that respect is automatically conferred upon us by using these gender-neutral pronouns is highly debatable. Respect should arise from understanding, empathy, and shared values, not from linguistic mandates. Let's be crystal clear here. You can't simply rewrite the English language and disrupt a system that has successfully functioned for centuries just because it doesn't align with your personal beliefs or agenda. The English language is an intricate tapestry of words and expressions that have organically evolved over time. It's a tool for communication, one that thrives on diversity and adaptability. To wield it as a weapon of control is nothing short of Orwellian. This relentless push for gender-neutral pronouns is emblematic of a broader issue plaguing our society. It's not about genuine progress, it's about power and control. It's about certain groups trying to manipulate language to fit their narrative. As Americans, it's high time we stand up and declare, enough is enough. We must safeguard our freedom of speech and resist this Orwellian endeavor to dictate how we express ourselves. Our nation was built on the principles of individual liberty and free thought, and it's our duty to preserve them.
Well, lawmakers in California haven't gotten around to fixing the state's infrastructure, its housing crisis, its homelessness, its vanishing middle class. But they are at the forefront of another fight, rewriting grammar. Last week, the chair of the state Senate Judiciary Committee announced that only gender-neutral pronouns would be permitted on her, or rather, their committee. In other words, does it strike you, again, I think we agree that if you say, I'd really like you to call me this, out of politeness and decency, which I sincerely believe in, I will, okay?
Right.
But they're forcing people to say something stupid. Shouldn't that be the point where the rest of us say, yeah.
Now, folks, I've poured my thoughts out on this matter, but I genuinely want to know where you stand. In a world filled with complex issues and divisive debates, what do you believe is the right course of action here? Do you see rewriting language to include gender-neutral pronouns as a progressive step towards inclusivity, or do you, like me, view it as a concerning encroachment on our freedom of speech? Your opinions matter, and I'm eager to hear your perspectives on this. In today's landscape, where the very essence of what we consider right or wrong is up for discussion, it's essential that we engage in thoughtful dialogue, even when we hold differing views. It's through these conversations that we can better understand one another and collectively navigate the challenges facing our society. Before we sign off today, I want to emphasize the importance of staying informed and engaged. If you value the kind of discussions and insights you find here on Red Alert, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. By doing so, you'll ensure you're always in the loop with the latest analyses and discussions on the issues that shape our world. Thanks for being a part of the Red Alert community, and until our next thought-provoking conversation, remember to stay vigilant and stay informed. America.